Under the Speaker's announced policy of January 9th, 2023, the gentleman from New York, Mr. Santos, is recognized for 60 minutes as the designee of the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is a source of immense pride that numerous prospective high school graduates in my district aspire to join a service academy. Following a rigorous selection process, I have put forth nominations for 29 applicants, and thus far, 4 of them have received appointments to academies. Alex Gao from Levittown has been appointed to West Point. David Yoon from Great Neck appointed to West Point. Joseph Kim from Little Neck to West Point, and Tanner Schultz from Northport to the Merchant Marine Academy. Embarking on the journey of attending a service academy is no easy feat. It requires diligent effort to master your chosen major and acquire the necessary knowledge to serve your country upon graduation 4 years later. I feel privileged to have had the opportunity to nominate all 29 applicants. I anticipate the appointment of many more nominees from New York's 3rd District to serve in the coming weeks. Madam Speaker, we just hosted the Congressional App Challenge recently, and this week we revealed the winner of the Congressional App for New York's 3rd District. Richard Chu emerged victorious from New York's 3rd District with his innovation, creation, Volun Hour, an app designed to streamline the tracking of volunteer hours. Amongst the 17 impressive applicants from my district, each contributing fantastic app ideas, Richard Chu's Volun Hour stood out as the winning entry. Richard cited his passion for volunteering and community service as the driving force behind the creation of this app. He started a volunteer organization with a small group of friends, witnessing its expansion from 5 members to 30. Throughout this experience, he recognized the cumbersome and time-consuming nature of tracking volunteer hours, promoting him to develop a solution. Congratulations, Richard, and a big shout out to all the participants from the 3rd District of New York who submitted applications to the Congressional App Challenge. Well done. Madam Speaker, I'd like to take a moment to discuss my office. Regarding my team, they consistently dedicate substantial effort to handle casework for our constituents. We operate from 3 locations, 2 within the 3rd District of New York and 1 in Washington, D.C., ensuring accessibility and a commitment to serving the residents of New York's 3rd District. To this day, we have received a total of 1,286 cases. We've successfully solved 1,149 cases, leaving us with 137 cases currently under the diligent attention of my team. The completed work cases encompass a variety of matters, including passports, immigration issues, and a distinctive case like securing a Purple Heart Medal for the surviving family members of a World War I hero. The work my office does not go unnoticed, and I and the constituents of the 3rd District of New York are extremely grateful, and I thank my entire team for all the hard work that they've put forward throughout these last couple of months. Madam Speaker, on the matter of expulsion, we are now going down a 3rd attempt for a privilege resolution to expel me from the House of Representatives this week. Just introduced one earlier today, and just earlier this evening we had a second. Here's the case in point. In history, 5 members of Congress have been expelled. All 5 had suffered convictions in a court. All 5 had due process. This expulsion vote simply undermines and underscores the precedent that we've had in this chamber. It starts and puts us in a new direction, a dangerous one that sets a very dangerous precedent for the future. Are we to now assume that one is no longer innocent until proven guilty, and they are in fact guilty until proven innocent? Or are we now to simply assume that because somebody doesn't like you, they get to throw you out of your job? Or better more, does the Constitution bear no consequence, where a duly elected member of the House of Representatives is elected by the general public, but then a couple of politicians decide that they don't like that person. These are all matters and questions that can be brought up. But I'll leave it at this. The process in which the Ethics Committee engaged was incomplete, irresponsible, and littered with hyperbole and littered with biased opinions. The chairman of the committee himself admitted that it wasn't the full extensive process, and therefore he couldn't recommend from the committee a punishment or action. Therefore, cheapening the process of the Ethics Committee, cheapening the process that this country has expected from this chamber. Look, it is not a right to be a member of Congress. The media will always remind me of that every time I talk to them. But it is a privilege that you work hard for, and you get elected to Congress as a privilege to represent those who have chosen you. Madam Speaker, I think we can all agree that due process matters and that we should all be very concerned about the way that we are conducting this process. I ask that all my colleagues in the House consider and understand what this means for the future. And to set the record straight and put this in the record, I will not be resigning. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. Does the gentleman have a motion?
Madam Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is on the motion to adjourn.